What if your hardest moments were your greatest teachers? Hey friend, today we're going to talk about building resilience and what happens, how we've overcome something in the past and how that can actually fuel our future. Um, I remember growing up with a stepdad who was an alcoholic and just spoke horrible words over me. And the only reason I tell you this story is for like explanation purposes, not because I don't harbor any animosity toward him. But when I was growing up, he was an unhealthy man, right? He didn't love himself. He didn't value himself. Therefore, he didn't love or value anyone else either. But when you're a young child and a young teenager, those harsh words that can be spoken from someone like that can have can leave a big scar and have a really big negative impact on life. And I would say that was absolutely the case for me. There's lots of time in my life where I didn't trust men, especially. I didn't think I was able to do anything. I had a really low self-esteem or confidence level. And but what I learned was that because he used to speak these horrible things over me, and he used to say to me things like, "Oh, you're so ugly, we have to tie a bone around your neck for the dogs to play with you," right? Again, I'm only telling you this for the story part. But so I thought, if I was really that horrible of a person and I was that awful to look at, that I had to become a really nice person because I wanted to have friends and I wanted to, I just wanted to know that what I was doing was worth it. And so at a young age, I decided that, like, probably before I was 12 years old, I decided that if that's who I was, who he said I was, which is not true, and don't believe everything everybody says about you, because usually it's not true. But that's, at the time, that's what my mentality was, is that if I believed what he said, who he said I was, then I had to become somebody different in order to get the things that I wanted in life. And so now, fast forward all these years, that lesson has stayed with me my entire life, because if he would have maybe been different, maybe I would have been somebody different too. Like, maybe I would have been some kind of self-righteous, spoiled brat. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is that when I overcame that and used it for good for the rest of my life, and will continue to use it for good. And so what we're going to dig into today is how you can do that too. Because I have no doubt that you have probably gone through some kind of struggle. You've overcome something in your life already. And you can take that experience of overcoming it, and you can fuel and you can use it to move you forward in the way that you want to go. So I have some questions for you. So again, get a journal. Hopefully you still have one from all the other days we've been doing this, because this is actually day 23. Can you believe it? So what are some of the questions here? What's something you've overcome that still echoes in your life today? So what's that thing? What's the thing that you have beaten back, you've overcome? Like, think about that thing, but actually think about the emotions behind it. Like, how did you feel? Did you feel rejection? Did you feel lost? Did you feel burned out, betrayed? Like, any of those things, how did you actually feel? Write it down, because if we dig deeper into things in our life, we have a better chance of using that for our good. If we just skim over it and we just surface it, or we just bury it, we don't get to learn from it usually. So dig into it a little bit. How did you feel about it? And then what did this experience teach you about yourself? Did it teach you that you're strong? Did it teach you that you're courageous? Did it teach you that you could learn how to use resilience? Like, what did it teach you? Empathy? Like, how to care for other people, how to be nice to other people? What did it teach you? And then the last question is, how has this changed who you are today or what you care about? Because here's the thing, when we look back on these past experiences, because nothing is lost on God. Like, just let's think about that for a second. None of our tears, none of our pain, none of it is lost on him. And he will take it and he will use it for his good and his glory if we allow him to. And sometimes many people don't want to dig into it because they think it's going to hurt too much. But the reality is the sooner you kind of dig into it, and and uncover those things, those triggers, the less power it has over you, and then you can heal and move on from that. So think about like where you were, how you felt, and where you are today because of that simple thing. And then what I want you to do, because now we can take that experience and we can create a new pattern from it or a new expectation from it. And I've done this multiple times with many different things in my life where it's, I'm thinking, oh my word, that's really hard. Like this 90-day challenge, for instance, I was like, oh man, that is too big for me. That is really hard. That's really scary. But I also want to be obedient to what I thought God was calling me to do. And so I said, okay, here I am. I'm doing it. And then I just reminded myself other times that I have done hard things. Like I've hosted week-long retreats before in the past. Those were hard things too, but I did it and it went well and everybody was happy and all the things. And so it's like, so take those experiences and remind yourself, use that as a jumping board or a jump off point to what you need to do today. Because it's powerful. It is truly powerful because we have these pathways in our brain. Remember, we've talked about these on other videos. We have these pathways in our brain. So if you walk down a new pathway and you tell yourself, hey, I went here before, but this is the outcome. Now we're changing what we expect because we've already had a positive outcome. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So this is stuff that I want to dig into on our coaching call inside of our community on Thursday. And so write this stuff down. And if it's hard, it's okay. Bring it to the coaching call because the more you unpack this stuff, we unpack it together, the faster you're going to heal, the faster you're going to move forward into your alignment and then into your prospering. Okay, my friend. If you aren't in the community, come on in, get in there. It's as of right now, the first 50 members, all the coaching calls and everything are free. So be one of the 50 because we're closing in, right? We're closing in. So anyway, I look forward to hearing your comments. Drop comments and also bring your questions, your comments, your triggers to the coaching call on Thursday, and we will uncover more of that together. Okay, my friend, take care.